drive them back, make the play. Like, that's the play right there. We're going to talk about moving that play up. Look at this. Now, did you get the sack? No, but that's a really good hurry. How do I get a college football scholarship? This is a series where we evaluate active high school football players and share with them feedback on their social media profiles, what they should be posting, their highlight video, and at the end we reveal where they project at. Are they Division 3, Division 2, Division 1? Is it FCS? Is it G5 or Power 4? And then the most important piece of this video is we share with them what they need to do in order to get to the next level. And if you want an evaluation just like this, I'll leave a link in the description below. So let's jump right into this particular evaluation. So one of the things on this particular athlete, his name is Braden. We're going to break down his video and everything like that, but he doesn't have a X account, right? He has an Instagram account and not an X account. Now, I have shared this on previous evaluations that coaches will go look at other social media platforms like TikTok, like Instagram, and some of these other ones to go and see really what's going on, right? Because most athletes are pretty cordial and don't post anything crazy on X, so they will check those. But today, in today's day and age, you gotta have an X account. So just a couple things. Because you don't have one, in the bio, we want to make sure you have your class year, your position, your height, your weight, your school, your high school, your city and state, personal email, and or phone number. I'm going to show you an example here in a second. For the profile picture, a headshot, action shot, but we want to make sure that we could see your actual jersey number. This becomes very important, especially when they're evaluating your game film and they get an idea of who you are. And then also add a banner photo with an action shot or team shot to make the page nice and clean. Now, I'll talk about posting here in a second, but I do want to share with you one of the athletes we work with. Now, granted, he does have, I think at this point, 4 or 5 Division I offers, but I do just want to show you kind of what it looks like, right? So name, and you should definitely get verified. It helps with algorithms. It helps when you're sending DMs, all that fun stuff. So class, position, he goes to Bishop Gorman here in Vegas. He's right here by us. Height, weight, GPA. Now, he has his phone number. He doesn't have his email. It's email and or phone number. Do both. Certain athletes are in certain positions because of certain reasons, right? So if you don't have any communication, put both, right? He's in a little bit of a different position right now, but cool. Headshot. I'd like to see this actually a little closer. I'm going to get on him for that. But you can clearly see his number and that he's playing at Bishop, which is a great school, and we want to promote that. Some things here, like if you have a 2.8 GPA, let's find other things. You might put captain of the team or, what have you, right? Like it doesn't exactly have to be this exact information in this exact order. For certain athletes, we're flexible with this based on what's really good that they have, right? What are some really good qualities, tangible things that we could put here? So just know, like, depending on where you're at, it's okay to be a little bit flexible with this, okay? So, but pretty straightforward, okay? So let's talk about posting. I know obviously you don't have an X, so you're not posting, but I'm gonna just kind of walk through this, some things that you could be doing to really amplify your posting. And if you're watching this and you're not posting, because a lot of times when you look on these accounts, it's just reshare, and they're not posting, right? So why do we post? We want to post because it helps with the algorithm. When you start doing outreach to college coaches and you're messaging them, they might open your message, and because they open it, they're going to see more of your posts. And then when you message and follow back up, they're more apt to open it, right? So once you get your Edge account set up, you'll need to start posting and following as many coaches as possible at your target schools. They'll follow you back. They'll start seeing your posts, right? Things to post: highlights, single and full. So like your early season, mid-season, full season highlights, and then each individual play. Don't be afraid to do that. Helps with the algorithm. Skill development stuff like what you're working on the field. Is it your footwork? Is it, for this particular, we're talking about a defense alignment, so different footwork and drills. You can get an iPad, a tripod on Amazon for really cheap. Go grab one. Okay, workouts like, hey, I'm going to the gym. I'm doing, today I'm doing power cleans and, squat or whatever. And you just film one set of each exercise. That's like 3 or 4 days worth of posting, right? Any team related content, diet, food you're eating, what you like to do for fun. At the end of the day, you want coaches to get an idea of who you are, right? It just makes it easier that when you do finally, follow our outreach process and you do get that coach that on the phone and you have that opportunity to sell that coach, you want to make sure that it's so much easier when they already know who you are, right? Post every day. It's really easy when you follow this process to post every single day. The athletes we work with, we have a tool that allows them to schedule all their posts for the week, and some use it to schedule their posts for the month. So if you have access to something like that, I would highly suggest using that versus trying to come up with a new post every single day. So remember, a coach should be able to get a really good feel of who you are as a player and a person just scrolling through your posts. Make it easy. And if you want to share some stuff, cool. Like share some stuff with your team and stuff like that, but it can't be like what most athletes are. It's just share. And coaches, they just don't get a chance to get to know you. So let's talk about the game film. Now I'm going to go into huddle and we're going to break down some of these plays. But there's a lot of good stuff here. This is a young defensive tackle. On your game film, you did a nice job putting together a short highlight tape for the year. Obviously, there's not a ton of plays. It's actually less than a minute. And sometimes, especially, he's a younger player, but when you get older, 2 minutes, 2.5, 3.5, depending on the type of player, how many positions you play, the type of plays you have, we've seen 4 or 5 minute highlights and there's like 8 good plays. It's like, let's make it short, get the coach's attention, and then we can send that coach more game film if needed, right? So this would be a great to post on X like we were talking about, and tag coaches in once you get your X account set up. I like your get off. Okay, so real quick, I just want to let you all know that this evaluation is not just from me, right? Like, I'm a former player. I played Division I. I earned a scholarship in the SEC, 5'7", 150 pounds. But this evaluation, and I can't remember if I said this in the beginning, so I just want to be clear. This evaluation isn't just done by me. It's done by our head coach here at Next Play, who has 15 years of Division I recruiting experience. And as he's also been a high school head coach. So 15 years of Division I evaluating film for FCS, G5, as well as the SEC, where he finally ended up retiring and coming and working with us. He's seen a lot of game film, right? So he evaluates it, I review it, and we put this together. So I just want to be clear on that. So here's a couple things. We really like the get off as a D lineman for a young player. And when we break down the film here, I'm going to show you. It's really good. On your tape, you move the line of scrimmage pretty consistently, which is great for a young player. If you look at, FCS programs or D1 G5 or D1 Power 4, the difference, and especially D2, and the difference is how much from a defensive line perspective you move this line of scrimmage, how nasty you are in the line of scrimmage. And then, Power 4 players on the inside, have tackles, they take on double teams, push them back, and make the play, right? And just dominate and take over games. So that's what we're looking for, and you do a really good job of this, especially for a young player. So at D-line, plays where you could change the line of scrimmage with violence, right, are a premium, and also plays showing off your motor and willingness to chase the ball as a big man and make plays. On your current highlight, we'll talk about some of these plays that you're going to move, but let's just break down some of the plays here and what we're looking for. So here's your card. Good job there on the card. Make sure you put your X handle, and the same information, by the way, that we talked about on the X account should be here, plus your X handle. Okay, so here we are. Make sure you do the arrow before the play. So I know you made the play there, but the changing of the line of scrimmage, watch, let's see. Boom, backwards, and made the play. Great play. Really good job. But do you see, we're looking, did you change the line of scrimmage? Were you violent? I'd like to see more violence from you there. I think in a future evaluation, we'll talk about shedding the block. But that is great. Really, really good. I wonder why it's not letting me click this properly. Get off the block. Okay, here we go. Boom. Good. This is one of our favorites. Look at this. Drive them back, make the play. That's the play right there. We're going to talk about moving that play up. Look at this. Now, did you get the sack? No, but that's a really good hurry. Good. All right, so let's talk about making some changes. I just wanted to give you a quick, idea of what we're looking for on these. So the second play, the play at 37 and the play at 43 need to be your top 3 plays. So your first play should be the second play. Let me just get rid of this so I can stop clicking on it. Why is it not letting me? Okay, so that's your first play. This needs to be the first play. Watch this. Boom. Push him back. Make the play. That's awesome. That needs to be play number 1. All right, and then at 37 and then 43. So let's see if we could jump here. All right, so here's your next play. Awesome. And then let me just see where we're at here. It's not, this is so weird. There we go. That's putting us at 43 right here. So here's play number 3. Look how you just, I know you don't make the sack, but you get the hurry. And just really, really good job. So awesome stuff. Now we're going to talk about where you're at right now from an evaluation standpoint, what division. And right now we have you targeted. You're really, really solid NAI Division II player, but you're young. You still have so much opportunity to improve. And you will get, if you play your cards right, do your outreach properly, you start really marketing yourself, you can start building relationships with FCS players. Now I'm going to dive in here in a second as to what you could do to really make yourself, an FCS, there's potential, because you're so young, and you're going to improve to get yourself to a G5 and to get yourself, anything can happen. But there's a lot of opportunity for improvement here. So we're really excited about you. But it's hey, all of the outreach, all of the marketing. If you don't do any of that, even if you improve, it's going to be tough to even come down here. So why we selected this? Great size at the position, quality young tape. I know it's not a lot of tape, but it's really good and it's young, right? And so one thing college coaches like to look for, and Brian hits on this all the time, is progress over time. And that's why we are huge supporters of high school football players starting the outreach as freshmen. Whether you have game film or not, you can absolutely start doing outreach, start building relationships with coaches, and get progression so they can get to know you, progress over time. By the time you're a junior or senior, they already know you and they can just offer you. It's so much easier. Now, can you don't say, oh, I'm a senior, it's too late. No. Are you gonna have more opportunities if you start younger? Yes, that's obvious, right? So quality young ting. And at the end of the day, big, mean, violent defensive linemen who are athletic are hard to find. That's the bottom line there. So really, really good stuff. And let's jump into now what you could do going forward to get yourself to become a solid Division II FCS player. And then from there, a solid, when you get an evaluation next season, FCS G5 player. So going forward, I would continue to work on strength, hip flexibility, playing with lower pad level. There's a couple plays there where you stand up and you still beat the guy, which shows you've got really good strength, but we really got to bend at the hips and not at the knees. You seem to have good strength as a young player, but obviously at this position, the stronger you are, the more productive you will be. Squatting, cleaning, if you look at defensive line, when I was at Ole Miss, man, our defensive linemen squatted the house, right? So I would continue to work on that, really, really work on squatting, getting low, and hip flexibility will also help you bend at the waist better instead of your knees, which in turn will help you play with better pad level. Because if you played with flexible hips at your strength right now, as young of a player, man, these highlights would look even better. And that's what we want, right? You want to look at, if you want FCS G5 and Power 4, they watch film differently. They're looking for different, just winning isn't enough, right? You have to be completely dominating and then eventually taking over games, right? So if you can show improvement in these areas on the tape, you're a really nice young player, a lot of opportunity. But remember, in college football, there's 3 key areas. You're the product, right? You're a business. You're the product. You keep working on the product. But without marketing, without sales, without the outreach, none of this matters. So It's really, really important that you get going with the marketing, which we talked about up here. We get going with the outreach as soon as humanly possible and start building relationships with these FCS coaches, with Division II coaches, and put yourself in a really good position as time goes on. If you show improvement in these areas on tape over the next couple of years, I really like your chances of improving on this initial evaluation. Next year, we may evaluate you more as a D2 FCS with a G5 potential, and then up from there. But we got to see these improvements, and you got to get your marketing and your outreach moving as soon as possible. Now, if you'd like to get a professional evaluation for your son as well, I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you got value from this video and you'd like to see more videos just like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you'd like to watch this brand new video I released sharing the breaking news of the new rules from the NCAA that are going to change the entire game of college football, then you're going to want to watch this video right here.